massive win for them. It really, really was. Despite this, former players Roy Keane and Gary Neville have both been critical of Erik ten Hag's side, saying they still don't look great. Keane says that while top four hopefuls Tottenham and Villa will be worried about the form, their forwards are getting them out of jail. Joining us now is talkSPORT Saturday Night host and big United fan Mark Goldbridge. Mark, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Brilliant result at the weekend, no doubt about it. A fantastic result, superb winner. We'll ask you about McTominay in a minute. But are the boys right? Are Roy and Gary right? Are United, I wouldn't say sneaking results, but is there still concern there?
Yeah, morning, Ali, Andy.
Morning, Mark.
Yeah, I think that the last three games have been fantastic in this Premier League. We all watch it, we all enjoy it, and winning three games. United have really struggled against the top 10 away from home. We've beaten Wolves and Aston Villa. West Ham are a decent side, I know, but Arsenal really took them apart at the weekend. So I think it's a difficult thing to take three results like that. You're not going to go from, and you both played the game, you're not going to go from the way United have played this season to suddenly playing like Man City. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, against Villa, there was a point where you're thinking, oh, this could go either way, and Villa were probably on top, which I think is, I think the big thing for United with me at the moment is they're actually playing as a team. There's a unity, their heads aren't dropping, and that's not something that we've seen all season. So I'd describe it as, steps forward. I don't think as a United fan I'm that concerned about how we're playing, because you don't win three games in a row without showing something in this league. Yeah. There's definitely room for improvement though, yeah.
Mark, I like the look of United a lot more lately, and I think the reason for me, since Kobbie Mainoo has played, he's been so good. Garnacho now, instead of having 10 minutes here and there, Garnacho playing more often. When he gets the ball, I genuinely feel something could happen when he's running at people around the edge of the box, getting his shots away. He had a couple of situations, really good ones, against Villa, and never quite got the shot off with any real power behind it. But I like what I see from him. Højlund now is amongst the goals and is starting to add those finishing touches to his obvious strength. So I think those three have really started to emerge in this United team now.
Yeah, great point about Garnacho. I think in this modern game, it's fantastic, but we do see teams like Man City who they don't really take people on. It's about passing between the lines. It's about structure. And you're right, Garnacho, it's almost like Jack Grealish when he was at Villa a few years ago. You've got a player there that wants to take people on. And there was a couple of brilliant runs against Villa where if he gets the shot right, they're brilliant goals. And United, that's what United are all about. And I think Garnacho's been fantastic for that. You've got, as you said, Kobbie Mainoo's just really exciting, probably going to end up going to the Euros the way he's going. And then Rasmus Højlund is scoring the goals that we knew he would if he got the service. So there's a lot to be excited about United. And that top four thing, it was such a big win on Sunday. It's gone if you draw it. And to get that late goal from McTominay, that top four, all three teams, Villa, United and Spurs, have got to play the top three as well. And Villa Spurs play each other in a couple of weeks. So it's on. It's definitely on.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think probably maybe undervalued the importance of that late McTominay winner, because that doesn't go in, Mark. Honestly, I think you can forget the top four. I really, really do. But the one thing it does, it keeps the momentum going with United, and it clearly, we saw. I'll ask a question of Aston Villa, but probably just as important, if not more importantly, Spurs will be looking behind them now as well. Yeah,
definitely. I think. Look, Spurs and Villa are not. Emery's not been there that long, and it's first season. It's a bit like Arsenal last year in the title race. You don't want to be looking behind you at an experienced team. And United did get top four last year. They've had such a bad start to the season. Casemiro's been absolutely huge. It's not a coincidence that we've won three since he came back. If you've got Casemiro in your midfield, he's won it all, hasn't he? So there's a momentum. You've still got to try and avoid the injuries. Martinez and Shaw have been injured in the last couple of games, but I think it sets it up. It looks like we're getting a bit of a relegation battle. We've definitely got a title race, and now there's a race for top four. So, yeah, bring it on. Really excited about that.
And these games, sorry, Ali, these games, Mark, you got coming up, Luton at Kenilworth Road, which is tricky, let's be honest. But a game now that you guys will all be thinking you've got to go there and win. Fulham at home. You'd be absolutely disappointed if you don't get three there. Forest away. So you've got three games coming up. We know they're not easy. None of them are. But they're games now that United fans will be expecting their team to win. They'll be expecting now they're going to get 9 out of 9 in the next three.
Yeah, but as you said, you've got to go into each of those games and treat it as the cup final, as Ten Hag said in his press conference. Because if you drop or expect, you'll get stung in this league. So yeah, look, I think we've just got to take it every game as it times, but you've got to keep that pressure on the teams above. Because I'd rather have the points at the moment in this league.
Mark, just a quick one. Andy and I speaking about it this morning and yesterday. McTominay, tell me about the value of that team and that squad. What a winner! What a header at the weekend.
I think, I've always been a massive critic of Scott McTominay, and I'll explain it why. It's a bit like, well, when you watch Donnie Darko or Inception and you don't really understand what's going on, but it's a good film. With Scott McTominay over the last few years, he's constantly been picked, but I think every United fan would go, I don't get it. I really don't understand this. But what we've seen this season, and probably for the last couple, to be fair, I think a lot of United fans have said it, he's not a holding midfielder. He's not really a number 8. He's somebody that if you put him in and around the box, he's absolutely fantastic. He's got this ability to find space and he can finish. And with Scott McTominay, that goal at the weekend, but also Brentford when he came on back in the autumn, and there's a few others. I think he's our top scorer now. I think it's great for him because I know people at United who absolutely love him. He says he's such a well-liked player. He's got the right attitude, but he's probably just not looked good enough for United. And he's now found this spot where you chuck him on for the last 20 minutes. It's almost old school, like when you were playing, really. Not many teams have this type of player now that you can throw on for the last 20 minutes. And he's such a threat. And it's such a good goal as well in such a big game. You can't not praise it. And I'm happy for him because he has had so much criticism. Yeah. But people have always wondered what it is. And I think we're seeing that what that is now. And that's probably why West Ham were willing to pay £30 million for him.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.